Good morning. This is Kristin reporting live from Panama City Beach. I'm a few days late on my vlog because I've been spending most of my time at the beach and haven't really had the time to get around to it, but I'm here to catch up now. So today I will be doing my vlog over an experience I had with hot yoga. I work out at a fit club in a studio, which isn't necessarily like your typical gym. And because of that, we have a lot of different classes, we do a lot of different yogas, and hot yoga was one that I had never experienced before, and nor had I ever really heard anything about it. So I decided that it would be my best bet to try it out, because I'm all about trying new things. Let me tell you right now, if you've never done hot yoga, I'm going to tell you what it is. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's hot yoga, but it's to an extreme. You go into a room that's set at approximately 95 degrees when you walk in, and it rises as you continue to go through the session. And they shut all the doors, and you do yoga in a room where no heat can possibly even think about escaping, because all the doors, all the windows, I'm sure they probably shut the air vent. There's no way any heat from that room will escape. So if you can imagine, you sweat a lot. It's natural to sweat a lot. When you're in a room that is that hot, there's no way you can just not sweat. That's the point of hot yoga. You're supposed to be able to sweat out the toxins, maybe shed a few pounds in sweat. I don't really know, but I thought, I'm about to go to the beach. It'll be the best decision of my life. I'm gonna look skinny. Here we go. So upon arriving to hot yoga, I smelled something that was horrendous. When I walked into the room, don't get me wrong, I am a gym-going, sweaty person. I can deal with sweat. I'm used to sweat. This was not your typical smell. This is like if you took the smelliest bodies, like 10 of the sweatiest bodies in your gym, and you give them 5 to 6 cans of Red Bull and put them in a hermetically sealed weight room, heated to 105 degrees and 70% humidity for a marathon workout. Then do the same thing every day for the next 2 years without ventilating the room, and you'll be close to duplicating the smell that went in through my nostrils the second that I walked into that room. It was foul. That was the beginning. You have to know that when you walk into someplace, a first impression is everything. Let's say this is totally, completely different from the whole situation, but if you walk into a bathroom and it smells really bad, your first reaction is to walk out and leave, right? That's what my first reaction was. When I walked in and smelled that, I have a very good sense of smell, and I can smell everything. And trust me, I smelled every detail of that room. Every person's body sweat, every person's body odor, the 2 people that hadn't looked like they'd taken a shower in a week, I smelt it all. So that was the first thing that really just set me off on my adventure. My second thing was, I don't really do yoga that much. And all these people are in here stretching and doing all this stuff. I've played basketball for approximately 15 years, and not once in my career did I ever stretch. I don't stretch. I'm a big girl. I don't stretch. There's so much weight on this body. I can run, and my muscles will just loosen themselves out, because that's the way it happens. That's the way my body works. So I didn't take it into effect that I needed to stretch. How was that going to benefit me? I'd never stretched before in my life. Wrong. When we began the complete session of hot yoga, you do things that you should not be able to do. The positions are contortionist moves, and they are torture. I'm a big girl too, and I thought when I get sweaty and I start getting hot, I'm going to be all limber. No, I was not limber, and I did not get any bit more loose than I did when I started. I was trying to do yoga. I've never done yoga. I probably should have went to a yoga class before I went to hot yoga, but I didn't, because I'm one of those types of people that I'm like, I can do anything. Wrong again. No amount of words can explain the pain that I was put into during hot yoga. Because not only was I doing contortionist moves and putting my body in forms and positions that should not even be allowed to do in this country, but I also was sweating so much that I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe, nothing. There was sweat coming off of me, and I apparently have sweat glands in places I didn't know I had sweat glands. My ears were sweating. I had sweat running down into my eyes. My eyes were on fire. I kept trying to stop and wipe my eyes, and the woman kept yelling at me and telling me that we don't stop in hot yoga. It was like I was in some Olympic training course. It was hot yoga. If I have sweat in my eyes, I'm going to wipe the sweat out of my eyes. That's the way that it works. It was running down into my mouth. I could taste my own sweat. And yeah, I really don't like going into the ocean over here and taking a big gulp of salt water. And that's exactly like what was happening when I was doing hot yoga. Because the sweat was rolling so quickly off of my face, it was going into my mouth. And from then on, I literally couldn't taste anything but sweat. Sweat, water. That's the only taste that was in my mouth. My taste buds became hyperactive. I can't taste things that well, but the second that my sweat got in my mouth, my taste buds decided to just go into hyperdrive. I could taste everything. That's not the appropriate time for you to be able to taste everything. Thanks, taste buds. It was ridiculous. When it was finally over, I couldn't walk. I couldn't breathe. I walked, there was sweat rolling all down me. I couldn't get up. My mat was disgusting. I don't even want to know. They told me to bring my own mat. I brought my own mat. Threw away that mat the same day. Literally, you could pick up my mat and there was sweat. It was soaked. You could wring it out like a towel. That's not sanitary. That is not sanitary. So, upon walking out of the room, that cold air hits you in the face, and I literally felt like I had went from the depths of a fiery pit to Alaska in about 2.5 seconds. And because of that, I got cold chills, so, I'd shave my legs for hot yoga, and all the hair grew back within 2.5 seconds of me walking out of that hot yoga room. But I vouched to never, ever do hot yoga again. Maybe if I had been more prepared, it would have helped me a little bit. Maybe if I had looked up the things that you do in hot yoga and what hot yoga was. I mean, I knew it was hot yoga. You go in a room that's kind of hot, you sweat a little bit more. No. You do yoga in a fiery pit. That's what you do yoga at. So upon leaving, I went home and I got on the internet and I looked up, some things that you needed to know about hot yoga. And in an article titled "The Health Benefits of Hot Yoga," posted on sheknows.com, listed 4 ways to have the best hot yoga experience. So I'm going to tell you these, because even though I didn't have the proper training, I'm going to address these ones right here. Number one is stay hydrated. I drank a gallon of water while I was there. A gallon. I took an empty milk jug and filled it up with water and took it with me. That probably made me sweat even more than I was sweating, but it sure didn't help me breathe any better, and it sure didn't stop the fact that I literally was in pain for an hour. That's one way to have a good experience, though. Number 2, Eat appropriately before and after. Limit your dairy. I drink milk every morning for breakfast. I drink a huge glass of milk every morning before my breakfast. And I don't really know how you're appropriately supposed to eat, because before, all I had was some fruit and a bagel and a glass of milk. And then afterwards, I couldn't eat for 7 hours because my stomach was such in knots, because my body had been doing contortionist moves for an hour, that I couldn't eat anything. So I guess that's how you eat appropriately. You don't eat at all. Number 3, listen to your body. If I was supposed to listen to my body, I would have left the first second when I walked in, when I realized that the smell was so horrendous that I wasn't going to be able to focus the whole time. Or I would have listened to my body when it literally told me that I couldn't go any farther and couldn't do the moves. And I would have listened to my body when the sweat was rolling into my eyes and it burned, and so I had to sit up and wipe my eyes. But then the woman yelled at me and told me that we don't stop in hot yoga. That sounds about right. Listen to your body. Number 4, check with your doctor. I could have went to the doctor after I left, because I didn't know that hot yoga was so extreme that I was going to have to go see a doctor after I did hot yoga. So that's the point. Check with your doctor to have a great experience in hot yoga. But I'm going to tell you right now, I couldn't check with my doctor. You want to know why? Because I couldn't walk after I left. That's why I couldn't check with my doctor. I couldn't drive home, I couldn't drive to the doctor, and I didn't know that it was going to be so extreme that I should go get a physical before I participate in hot yoga. So, sheknows.com, all of those are false, because I couldn't and or did do all of those and still had the worst experience of my life doing hot yoga. So for anyone on my blog that wants to try hot yoga, I will literally pat you on the back and send you on your way, but you better not send me an invitation.